Moments. Give them shoulders, 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 shoulders. See, oh, it's Tiffany. Go girl. Sorry guys, I will say this though, I am certainly in my kind of confident, loving myself era. So I used to have a bit of a complex about my shoulders. I think I used to think that I had quite broad shoulders, but I'm certainly in that stage of life where I'm kind of like, I'm owning it, and I'm like, check out my shoulders. Yes, shoulder game is strong because I'm a strong woman. I go to the gym, I do weights. So yeah, and my sister, so she has a joke where she says, I'm her brother. So, but hey, when you get to this age, you just gotta own it, gotta love yourself, and appreciate what makes you unique. And for me, it's my strong shoulders. Anyway, so for this episode, I'm going to talk about affirmation and why affirmation hits different for mothers. I'm actually on my first coffee for today. You'd like to know? It's 11 o'clock, and I'm delayed my coffee. I was actually getting some headaches last week, and I went to see the GP. And her suggestion was that I perhaps cut down on caffeine, and I thought, what did you say to me? How rude. So pray for me, guys. I'm drinking about 3 coffees at the moment, and I never used to drink coffee before I became a mom. So it's been interesting to how much coffee I drink now. But I suppose with the kids getting older, I could probably cut down a little bit more just to kind of, from a health perspective. But I do like my coffees now, so we'll see. Maybe I'll cut down to 2 for this week, actually. I'm telling you now, I will cut down to 2 coffees for this week, and we'll take it from there. Anyway, let's talk about why affirmation hits different for mothers. I realized the other day I was on a train, and as we were getting off the train, a lady came up to me. I was with my kids, who are again 2 and 4. A lady came up to me and she said, "Oh, you're such an amazing mummy." She was saying to the kids, "You guys have such an amazing mummy." And I remember feeling this sort of glow. And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you." And I generally appreciate that compliment. Yeah, and I'm someone who's very confident enough to not kind of be able to separate myself from people's feedback or thoughts enough in a healthy way. But I realize now, every time someone tells me, "Oh, you're doing a great job with the kids," or "You're such a great mom, you're so proactive," or "You're so involved with them," or "You're always like doing fun things with them," I really appreciate people saying that. I really appreciate being recognized and affirmed as a mother. And I was thinking about, like, why is it so essential? Why is it so essential for me as a confident person to crave that type of affirmation? So I thought about it some more, and I want to sort of break down why it feels good. I think number one, motherhood kind of exists in its own feedback vacuum. Every other thing we do in life or role or activities often have like clear feedback systems where, I don't know, at work you get performance metric, or, with a goal that you set, you can sort of weigh it out or measure out your progress or what you're doing or not doing. But with motherhood, it's there's no kind of reviews. And I'm not saying there should be, because, I don't like this idea of good mother, bad mother, or someone's doing better than others. But I just think internally, sometimes you don't know whether you're doing great, even if you are, which I think we all are with the tools we have and with what's available to us. But with motherhood, it's hard to kind of sense that or get that confirmation that you are. And especially with children being so young, they often cannot articulate their appreciation as well, the way that adults can. So it's like you're constantly performing as a mother without kind of knowing your score or even knowing that you're doing well. And even the best of us who are doing well, we often don't tell ourselves we're doing well. I mean, I'll give you an idea. So about a few months ago, my sister was looking after my children, and I went out to meet someone for coffee. And I remember just like regularly getting updates from her saying, along the lines of, "Oh, look, I fed them. I've done this. Oh, I'm doing so well. Oh, I can't believe how well I'm doing." I thought, like, not that I'm saying I'm not grateful for her help, but I do this every day. But I don't tell myself I'm doing well. I don't text other people to say I'm doing well. And I thought, how interesting is that? That even just looking after the kids for like 2 hours, she feels like she's doing really well and she's so proud of her efforts. And I thought, wow, that really got me thinking about how I don't tell myself I'm doing well, or I don't even think I'm doing well. And not that I think I'm doing bad, I just don't go to that part of it. I never think about how well I'm doing, or even give myself a moment of well done. And that's quite interesting, isn't it? Even though I know I'm doing my best. Another angle that makes affirmation such a nice feeling with motherhood is that the effort doesn't equal the outcome in this game, in this thing called motherhood. A lot of things kind of have like an outcome, put things in, you get something out. I feel like with parenting, you can try your absolute best, and children are just so irrational, and they can be they can act in such an unexpected way. And often we got this sort of nature nurture debate where a child can be raised and then grow up and decide they want to, kind of be different. So it's interesting, like logic doesn't always apply with motherhood, or logic sort of goes out the window, because perfect parenting doesn't guarantee perfect behavior. There's so many other aspects to it beyond our control, like, I don't know, a child's tendencies, a child's natural sort of things that they're into, their personality. It could be like something to do with their personality type. It could be with a condition that they have. It could be that they're unwell, so they lash out. Just think there's so much more to the whole thing. It's a lot more sort of it's slightly much more complicated than you put this in, you put that out, you get that out in parenting. I think that sort of disconnect between the effort and the result can actually create this constant uncertainty that makes you feel like you just don't know how it's going. And often it's an external kind of validation that then reminds you that you're doing well. And if you, the more I kind of take that down another angle, I realize that it's just so unpredictable. And I think that the unpredictability of motherhood or parenting can actually create a lot of self-doubt. That's what I've noticed. Children's needs change so much. And what worked yesterday might not work today. Or if you have different personalities, I find out with my children. So much needed coffee. My children have completely different personalities. It's out of this world. I feel like I have this permanently have two browser tabs open, and I'm trying to nurture this child and nurture that child. But what works for this child doesn't work for this one. My daughter's outgoing. She's super into people. She's super like always laughing, always smiling, very active, very sort of what's over there, what's over there. She runs there, just wants to be into everything and everyone, always laughing, always saying something, always doing something, always being cheeky. She's laughing. She wants to be on a stage. She wants to be noticed. She loves attention. My son is much more, not extroverted, introverted, but in ambivert, sort of in the middle, where he's very confident, but he's also sensitive. He loves to talk to people, but at the same time, he wants time to himself. He's not, he is very thoughtful. So what works in terms of if he does something out of order, how I would talk to him is different from how I talk to my daughter. Because if I said to my son, what you did there was quite naughty, it instantly feels bad. And he would almost want to apologize. So that's his kind of natural impulse. My daughter, she will think it's the funniest thing. Oh, you think I'm being naughty? Or I've done something naughty? She actually thinks it's funny. And she's like, oh, naughtiness. Yay, woohoo, go me. So that sort of unpredictability and difference in their personality, I think it creates a level of like, not so much for me self-doubt, but it's just so different that I just don't know, no, I obviously know what to expect with both of them, but it's just trying to kind of figure out what role I'm playing with both of them, and what motivates them is very different as well. But I think to another mother who doesn't have that personality sort of differences to navigate, it's just that unpredictability of what children need, or what work today not working tomorrow, can make you doubt your instincts as well. You're like, oh, but that works yesterday, why is it not working today? And I think, yeah, parenting just feels like every day is a different day in boot camp. Every day is just don't know what's going to happen, so you kind of have to go with the flow a bit, and that's not always a bad thing. And I think if I go down another further angle, I think it's just that sort of level of uncertainty. causes a lot of intentional questioning, and that never stops. This idea that, am I doing enough? Did I handle that well? Did I spend enough time with them today? Did I, I don't know, did I watch too much TV? Have I read enough books? Like, oh, have I packed the wrong this? But, it's just that constant questioning. It's a mental load in itself, that mental load of doubt. And every decision has been weighted against, like, I don't know, their future well-being. If that let them watch too much TV, they're just going to be like disobedient when they're older. There's going to be rogues. And the stakes just feel impossibly high, because also there's that pressure of you're shaping human beings, right? They're going to go off into the world and be themselves. And that in itself can feel weighty. And I think on that journey sometimes as well, other people's opinions become much more magnified because you're unsure of your own, because you're the one in the trenches. But people that are watching you from a distance can, often have their own opinions. And I think it's about learning to kind of balance that. But I think because of that as well, the approval and the validation can feel quite nice. So hopefully you're kind of surrounded by people who at least encourage you, or, let you know that you're doing a good job, because that's nice. But yeah, I definitely think, as much as we can't do motherhood for the external approval affirmation, I think it definitely is a good thing to have. And I always encourage anyone to surround yourselves with people who are, I don't know, kind and can give you that, because it can help you to cut through that internal doubt spiral. And seeing someone that approves you as well sort of validates your instincts. It validates that, there is no manual, but you are navigating this world as well as you can, as someone who is a work in progress, raising other works in progress. And it just provides that sort of feedback system that we don't get naturally as mothers and as parents. So yeah, that's kind of, the rabbit hole I want to go down today. I love a good sort of, I don't know, I love a good and a reflection on motherhood and everything it comes with, because it comes with a lot. So I definitely think there's a beautiful paradox here of we can be confident in all areas of our lives, in many areas, but we can doubt ourselves as mothers. And I think that recognition from others, that validation, can remind us that we're figuring it out. We're trying our best in this beautiful chaos. And hopefully, like I said, you are surrounded by people who give you that, because that's a nice thing to have. It's an extra, and you can do well as a mother or just do your best without the recognition, but hopefully you have that. And it's not weakness. I don't think it's weakness. I don't think it's desperation. I don't think it's a bad thing to get the affirmation or to need it. I think it's just human. And like I said, for me, I'm someone who's fairly confident, someone who's fairly kind of happy with themselves. But like I said, I like when people say that, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't think it makes me any less strong or less capable. I think it's just understanding why I see it like that. And yeah, that's where I'm at, and that's what I've been thinking today. So like I said, I hope you are surrounded by good people. I hope you're surrounded by people who let you know that you're doing your best as you can do with this in the trenches. And yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Mambition moments. Remember, if you're enjoying Mambition, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with anyone who might enjoy this. Contact us on LinkedIn. Alex and I are always ready and available for new friendships and connections. And yeah, reach out to us if there's any topics that you want us to discuss in future episodes as well. We're here to, hopefully sort of make the motherhood journey more fun if possible. Thank you, guys, and see you on the next one.